1-1D. Mayor Pro Tem, would you please read that?
The rules of decorum. Persons attending city council meetings should observe the same rules of priority, decorum, and good conduct as they would show in a courtroom, a place of worship, or at any other serious or solemn occasion during which matters of importance are being considered. Visitors will refrain from engaging in chatter, private conversations, and making other distracting noises. While the city council is in session, phones and other electronic devices should be set off to the silent mode. Visitors should not applaud, boo, clap, or otherwise audibly express approval or disapproval of the speech of another person in a manner likely to disturb the meeting. When addressing city council, persons wishing to address the city council on any matter listed on this agenda may be recognized by the chair, provided the person has completed a citizen speaker registration form and presented to the city secretary prior to the beginning of the regular scheduled city council meeting, or immediately following their address to the city councils. Speakers shall approach the lectern and give his name and city of residence before speaking. Speakers shall address the mayor and city council with civility that is conducive to an appropriate public discussion. All public comments should be addressed through the chair. Each speaker will be allowed 4 minutes to speak. A majority vote of the city council is required for any time extensions. No person shall be allowed to address the city council more than one time per agenda item. When addressing the chair, persons may not engage in discussion with the city council or staff during council deliberations unless specifically asked a question by a council member. Persons who have been asked a question by a council member must be recognized by the chair before being allowed to speak. The chair may end any question and answer session between council members and a member of the public in order to facilitate the order of business. Printed materials. If you have something that you're sharing, persons may present printed material to the secretary to distribute to the city council during the meeting. No disruptions. Persons attending the city council meetings should remain seated or may stand in the back of the room and come and go so long as it does not disrupt the meeting. Persons in attendance should not carry signs or place cards. No person attending any city council meeting shall delay the proceedings or refuse to obey the orders of the chair. Removal. Disturbances, transgressions of the rules of disorderly conduct in the city council chamber or other city council meeting rooms may cause the transgressor to be removed from the meeting. The chair of the meeting shall exercise control over persons who disrupt the meeting in the following order of action. Call the person to order, advising that the person of the infraction. Advise the person that the infraction must cease immediately or the person will be ordered to leave the meeting. Order the person to leave the meeting. A police officer may remove an individual or individuals for disrupting a meeting as authorized by Texas Penal Code, Section 4205.
Thank you, Mayor.
Good evening, everyone. I am speaking on number 17, and I'm addressing all of you. I'm concerned about the amount of money that's being spent. I have been seeing other citizens come up and voice their opinion on this too. I'm just adding to that list.
You're fine. When we start looking at the decorum and what we're speaking on from the agenda, number 17, DS 23055 states that it discusses a complaint against an elected official.
Right.
So, we're not talking
You
about
vote
money, but keep on.
You vote
I'm
as a
gonna wait for you to
whole.
keep, yes. We
Right.
don't wanna talk about money, we wanna talk about that 17. But keep going.
Well, this is my complaint.
Okay,
This is my complaint.
thank you.
I'm just adding 2 other complaints. I don't understand why we are millions in debt, and we keep adding to it. I just don't understand that. To me, the only exception should be our first responders. The rest of it should be in deep discussion, one item after another. Not everybody coming in here and giving us.
Ma'am, we have to stay on the agenda. I am sorry.
She
Not
is.
the first responders or not the money. We have to talk about the complaint against the elected.
I am talking about the complaint.
Ma'am, we're
All the other
speaking
stuff
about
is on the
money and
agenda.
First responders, I'm sorry. If you would please continue with number 17, you have 2 minutes and 56 seconds to go.
What do you want me to say?
I would
You
like
tell
for you-
me, since you
I
said
would
to
like for
go.
you to speak on
Right.
the agenda item that you said, number 17.
And I am
It's a
speaking
complaint.
on that.
Mayor Pro Tem, I'll try to help. I think what this is a specific complaint against an elected official, not anything that someone might want to come up and make a new
This
complaint.
is a specific complaint against all of you.
Yes, ma'am, and that's not on the agenda.
But nobody knows who the complainant is.
I apologize, ma'am, but it is not on the agenda. If you would like to speak in reference to what's on the agenda, we would love to hear it.
Unbelievable. Well, I guess I'm done then.
Ma'am, please have a seat. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thoughts tonight.
That was on the.
Thank you.
Mr. Price at Hell's Kitchen Clean.
Okay.
I have a complaint. My item is number 17. I have a complaint against City Council.
Yes, sir.
Primarily your statement of trying to chill the free speech of citizens.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Thank
with the
you.
decorum. And this display right here, what you did with this one lady by gaveling her and then not gaveling this man about the
Sir, I'm elected to follow
discuss,
parliamentary
right? So we are,
procedures.
and I am discussing this is about the mayor, right? And this picture that I got right here in my city bill, okay? I don't see any diversity there. Not only that, I wanna know why we're utilizing a controversial film about homosexuality in children's films, and we're displaying that in the city government. So,
Mr. Price, thank you for coming tonight.
This was-
Please stay
this
on your
was-
topic,
this was done by the city
B17.
council
It would be
members, set
citizens'
this up.
comments against an elected official.
This is the
Thank you
person-
very much for
this is
following
who my complaint
instructions.
is against.
Decorum has been given to you. If you cannot follow that decorum, then sir, I will ask an officer to ask you out.
Oh.
threatened to have me arrested, right?
No, sir, ma'am.
Yeah.
Just want you to stay on
Threatened to have me arrested because I
B17.
have an opinion about something.
Sir, you cannot give just random conversation in
It was a
reference
complaint
to.
about
complaint against an elected official. It was a Facebook post by Mr. Green concerning a complaint of
Can't call out a
harassment,
citizen.
retaliation, interference of employment, and defamation of character. It was an invite to come down to the city council to talk about Mayor Debbie Nash King and her code of conduct. I looked up harassment, it says intimidation. Retaliation is revenge or the action of harming someone. Interference of employment, when an individual other than an employee intentionally interferes with another individual's employment. And defamation of character, which is defamation is typically defined as a false statement someone makes about you, which they publish as a statement or fact, and which harms you personally or professionally, or it causes any kind of damage to you. So I saw the post and I had to come down and speak because I felt that it was wrong, period. The post has been shared 27 times by Ms. Melissa Brown, has went around, and Ms. Phyllis Jones has went around, and it's crazy that this is going on. So I said, okay, let me come down here and just talk on behalf of what's going on here. Mr. Ricky Green, which I don't know him as well, I know he was a Killeen Daily Herald worker.
He's
So-
not on the agenda.
It's literally the subject.
The subject I'm talking about is the complaint
Can't
against
mention the
Mayor,
person's
Deputy
name.
Dad King, and elected officials.
Oh, women is.
Thank you.
Mrs. Brown, please keep the decorum to a lower level.
Okay,
Speak
but
to the person next to you. Please do not scream when another
since
person
you're
is speaking.
addressing me,
Thank
may I
you.
address you back because you are
Thank you
allowing
very
her
much.
to discuss
The-
a
the
person,
decorum
an individual not
officer
on the
can sort
agenda.
Mrs.
Oh,
Watkins,
you have just
please continue.
made my day.
Okay. On the post, it was told to come down and to complain, or various complaints against any of the officials, but it was basically about Mayor and Deputy Dad King. All I have to say is this, that the information that was said was false for intimidation, retaliation, interference of employment, defamation of character for Mrs. Green, for Mayor Deputy Nash King. The letter from the general manager from KDH reads, to whom it may concern, Ricky Green was not terminated from KDH News. That is not a correct statement. Mr. Green filed a complaint about a city official harassing him. KDH News takes all harassment complaints very seriously. We investigated the issue and found no evidence of anything that could be considered any type of harassment by the city official that was credible. After the investigation was completed, KDH News' position and recommendation was to reassign Mr. Green to another area that would not involve city news coverage. Both parties agreed and were satisfied with the resolution of the claim. Several weeks later, Mr. Green made some monetary compensation demands and some changes to his work schedule. KDHD News did not feel comfortable in accepting these demands, so both parties mutually agreed to part ways. The decision had no mention of anything concerning the complaint filed by Mr. Green. Signed, Terry E. Gandy. The post said a complaint against Mayor Debbie Nash King is harassment, retaliation, interference of employment, and defamation of character. Everyone has a right to their opinions and feelings, but tearing down your mayor, your city officials is not decent and in order. This may be politically motivated, and if it is the only way you can get into a seat that you need to be elected by, you need to find something else to do. You need to be in these seats because you all have been put in these seats because you were voted in. Debbie Nash King, Mayor Debbie Nash King, was put in that seat because she was voted in by the people here. Complaints, comments, we're gonna have those. We're gonna have these issues, but as a city, we need to stop the foolishness and get it together. We complain about all of our people here. None of us sit up here. None of us we don't run races. We don't do anything to get into elected seats, but we're always complaining about something. We need to start working against the things that we need to work on. Homelessness, the mental issues, the food deserts, things of that nature. So I'm here to say, no weapon formed shall prosper in this. And as far as in James 3:16, because I am a pastor, do not want to be counted wise to be a reputation of wisdom. Here's what you do. Live well, live wisely, live humbly.
Ms. Watkins,
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Watkins, I heard you say that you were a pastor. Your minutes have exhausted.
Okay.
Let us take a 10 minutes break.